So Summit Mitigation Services. Tell me how this started.
All right, so it's a short sale negotiation company, and we literally negotiate debt for homeowners when they owe more in their house than it's worth, and they've got to sell the house. They can't make the payments. We actually go in and negotiate with the banks and get it to a point where it can be sold. And number one goal is keeping the homeowner from foreclosure. And two is minimizing the impact of the short sale, meaning working with the bank to reduce any deficiency or the bank coming after the homeowner after it's done.
Who is behind Summit? Tell me about Karl Falk.
All right, so I grew up in a small town outside of Houston, and you know, growing up it was tough. It was just my mom and I, and she was a single mother teacher nonetheless, because we know how teachers are paid so well. And you know, only child, so it was just me and my mom. And but we didn't have much, and I think that was part of my drive to do something with my life, something different. I ended up going to the Air Force Academy, and that's what brought me to Colorado, and played football there for 4 years, and then was in the Air Force for 6 years, and had met my wife when I was at the academy. We got married after I graduated, and went out, served for 6 years in the Air Force as an officer, financial officer, so kind of the theme of finances.
Great segue for you.
And it was a point where my wife, April, was pregnant with our first child, and it was time for us to move again, and her family's from Colorado, and she looked at me and said, "We're staying." And I said, okay. So I decided to get out of the military. And I got to tell you, you know, I've kind of always had this drive in my life, and I went out into corporate America after I got out of the military, and I did really well and was pushing very hard with my career and where I thought I wanted to go. And I had a couple life-defining moments, and I was stressed out. I was doing a lot of things. I was trying to work my way up the ladder, and I was burning out. And one day, I went and talked with an individual at this company who was higher up, and I said, for somebody that's trying to get ahead in the company and do the right things, do marketing, business development, administrative work, work in all this stuff and be the ideal employee. I said, how do you balance your life? How do you be there for your family and also have this amazing career? And the answer I got made me rethink, what am I doing? The individual looked at me and said, well, he's like, some people go to work and then come home at night and spend time with their family and then work late at night. And he said, other people like myself, I just decide not to see my family during the week. And that really hit me. And I said, at the pinnacle in my career with this company, I would hope that I would be in this individual's shoes. And at that moment, I said, if that's what I have to look forward to, I don't want it.
Yeah, good for you.
I don't want it. And at that moment, so I'll get a little personal here. At that moment, that day was just threw me off. I had no idea what am I supposed to do with my life at this point. What I've strived for, I don't want. I want something different. And I remember driving home, and I broke down crying. And I asked God, I said, help me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. I don't know where I'm going. For the first time, I had no clue on what I was supposed to do. And it was an overcast day, and I broke out of this section with the trees, and a light just broke through, the sun broke through the clouds and hit my car. And I had this overwhelming feeling come over me, just calming. And at that moment, I knew that everything was going to be fine. But the weird thing is, and April and I still go back and talk about this, that like 2 weeks later, I had this insane desire to get into real estate. And I didn't know why. But at that moment when I asked God to help me, I asked and I said, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with my life, but I just want to be in a situation to help people.
Right.
And I
Wow.
thought at that moment, I've never had that thought before in my life. Why did I say that? And I think it's because it came from the heart. And at that moment in my time, I was at a low point in my life, and I knew that's what I really need to be doing.
So can you tell me why you want to help people?
Um,
Like, why is that there?
I don't know.
You know, some people, this is a job. They go, they're going to help people through a short sale process. You know, the bank's going to either give them money or they're not to buy their dream home.
You know, if it
There's
was
something deeper there.
if it was just a job, it wouldn't be rewarding. If I brought people onto the company to just make money and churn these transactions, I mean, yeah, that's part of it. But if that proponent wasn't there of helping people, I probably wouldn't be as focused on what we're doing and trying to make the process better and trying to make our team better.
So I'm hearing about this new educational product that you guys have. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's called Accredited Short Sale Negotiator. So it's an actual designation that agents, real estate agents can earn, and they actually get CE credit, continuing education credit, for taking the course.
Okay.
But what it does is it allows us the ability to take our successes, one of those successes including that we close over 80% of all of our transactions.
That's high, 80%.
It is. In the national average, there's different statistics, but there's no national statistic that says that the nation closes over 50%. So less than 50% of all short sale transactions close. So I get the question a lot of times, how do you guys maintain that?
It's because of
And
those credentials.
I think it's because we have good staff. We have a vision of helping homeowners, not just collecting checks and getting transactions done. In our staff, that's ingrained in our staff, but we're also producing technology and educational products to help not only our staff get better, but also individuals in this industry get better. So when we first started this, again, we built it internally for our own staff. And we just happened to demo it at an event we were at, and the people were like speechless. And I'm like, okay, does it really stink? Is it that bad? And they're like, no, this is unbelievable. It's we spared no expense. It's very interactive. The people that take it actually have to click on things. You're not just sitting there watching a video. And what we did was we actually took material, and this is core to negotiations. So as banks change their processes over time, we're not teaching that. We're teaching how the core of negotiating these transactions with the bank. So when the bank says this, you do this. So we actually took real scenarios and recreated phone conversations with the bank based on actual situations. So the individuals hear the material and then they actually see it in play. So it's a great reinforcing mechanism for the individual to actually go through and say, yeah, okay, they told me it would work, and then we reinforce it with a scenario where it actually did work when talking with the bank.
So tell me what your hopes and dreams are for this, for Summit Mitigation.
My hopes and dreams, and I'll for Accredited Short Sale Negotiator, my hopes and dreams are that the agents doing their own negotiating will leverage this education, because it's the same tool that we use to train our own staff. So we're not a washed up company. We're not an agent that used to do short sales. We're doing it today, day in and day out, and we've had these successes. So this is the same product that we use to train our staff. So I'm hoping that agents will embrace this product and use it, because at the end of the day, if the nation's short sale transactions were to close at more than 80%,
Right.
it would be a huge economic impact to our nation to get more of those closed and not let so many go to foreclosure.
Right. I want to get more familiar with Summit Mitigation Services. Can you at least tell me where your website is? How do I start? What's your website?
If a real estate agent would need to contact us, or even a homeowner, they can go to summitmitigation.com. We do have some basic information there. And really what we try and do is push that information out to real estate agents. So what I do is I always encourage agents to reach out to us. We're not going to, charge them per hour to advise them what to do. We encourage agents to reach out to us so that we can better help them help the homeowner get through this bad situation.